as that's where Abigail Guerrero was. Thankfully, it's for Camille, it's not like a weightlifting competition where it goes body weight difference, because Abigail Guerrero at 125 hit 190.
And a typical
185 for Michelle Latondra, and the chase is on for another year. Here at 170, this will be Maude Charron, a former circus acrobat, proving she can lift some weight as well at 170.
It's slow, but they're not slow. They're posting great times, great paces.
Maude Charron with my favorite credential coming into this, a former circus acrobat, onto the bar for the final time in Nasty Girls version 2. Just over 10 minutes have gone by, 6 minutes remaining before the 16-minute time cap. And you can see
very discouraging.
big fight there, and she did wind up dropping off the rings after that struggle to get over the rings. Maude Charron with 5 reps remaining, now 4. She'll be finishing up around the 11-minute mark.
Michelle cheering on her fellow competitors. Great community.
And there is Charron complete at 10 minutes and 52 seconds. And 1 rep remaining for her. She drops it, steps on the mat, and will finish up at about 12 minutes and 18 seconds.
Now notice how these athletes
She is upside down going, she wanted a kip there, it looked like.
Yeah, the strict handstand push-ups can make you feel very helpless when you don't have the strength to push yourself back up.
Rallying behind once again, Kendra Cross. She gets number 2, and there's the reaction. Got it. Won't have time to get back to the bar. She's going to make that effort in the sprint. But with just 6 reps remaining, it's still going to be a pretty reasonable score. It might get her around the top % completion rate in the first 3.
And that was a prime example there. If you are not as efficient in your strict handstand push-ups, you had a hard time completing that workout.
And if you had a hard time completing the workout, you were trying to go on damage control and cutting that time cap penalty as much as you can. Every rep you don't complete through the workout is a 1-second penalty on top of the 20-minute time limit.
And I was actually thinking, I was like, well, Kendra, if she would have maybe taken an extra 20 seconds, she might have been able to get a couple front squats there. At any point can step in there, and we kind of have 3 people going at it for that second place spot right now.
Something we haven't seen in a long time in Canada East. Since 2010, it's always been. It's definitely going to be something we're not used to seeing, but this has been a week full of shockers, a regional season full of shockers. Not only Stacy Tovar sitting out right now, Sam Briggs, Ruth Anderson-Harrell, Chad McKay, some big names missing the games. We might add another one to that list here in Toronto.
And it just goes to show the hard work of these women. The women don't come to this competition to take third or how well can you pace and continue moving through this workout. The rower is not going to be a game changer. This is more of a warm-up for the women. Once they get off, the box jumps is when the real work starts.
If anybody wants to challenge for the event record, and that might be Camille and Michelle and by Abigail Guerrero in all purple, that's the race right there for the point spots, the 2 transfer positions to Carson.
Brandon, if you watch these women...
It's a little bit more awkward. We're used to working with a box at the surface on top a little bit smaller. This is a large surface. We're going to see some of these athletes walking across, so it does slow it down just a little bit.
And just to keep in mind, we do not require here a full hip extension on top of the box.
Still actually back on the boxes with 5 reps remaining is Michelle's sister, Erica.
There's a reason these women are in this last heat. Look how fast...
Big, but who gets through the overhead squats the best?
We see most of the athletes butterfly kipping, using their hips, nice and efficient, coming off the bar. We did see Christine struggle a little bit at the beginning.
Christine dropping off the bar, just like a game spent. 1:45, 10 seconds faster than the prior event record, just 4 seconds behind Camille's new event record, and Michelle Latondra and Camille Leclerc-Bosine for Jen Limburger running up at 3:33, as we have just 2 athletes who are going to be the first one to get up overhead, trying to sink into the depth. It's good, and Marie-Amélie Parot will fit. It wasn't easy for Michelle Latondra.
She definitely...
Overhead squats, then they move on to the scariest part, and that's the GHD sit-ups. This is lane number 4, Maude Charron, and she came into this event in 13th place. She's got to be happy, Tanya, that she's on a treadmill, simply because on May 11th, just a few weeks ago, she broke her finger.
We really expected big things out of Maude. I saw her in a competition earlier in the year, and she is just a fantastic athlete out of the Canada East region. She came into this regional in 3rd place. Out of the Worldwide Open, she was 20th. So amongst the whole world, 20th place for this newer athlete. Years old, and she came in to this regional in 10th place.
And here comes Marissa Hardy. She will advance her bar. She finished her first 25 reps. Now she only has 25 reps left.
You can also see that Chloe Gavin-David, she is doing single reps, not only because she's tired, but this is smart when you have a heavier barbell, because there's a lot of work that's being done if you hold onto that barbell on the way down, on the negative. So she's just trying to get her air and minimize that time under tension with the bar. It's not as fast, but it will definitely help save her a little bit of muscular fatigue.
On the right of your screen, Caroline Prevost in lane number 7. She's in 1 minute, 35 seconds. The weight on the bar, 75 pounds. So it's a little bit heavier than what they're normally used to in a 21-15-9 event.
And I would say that also her games experience. She's been to the games twice. Very consistent, place 18th both years, 2014 and 2013. She knows her abilities, and she's just really focused.
And Michelle Letendre, 9 down to her final rope climb, as is Jennifer Smith.
Wasn't able to hang with the top athletes in this heat, but she did do well enough to beat many of the other girls in the other heat. Shouldn't be too detrimental, especially coming in with that first place finish.
15-minute time cap. So all of these ladies, we knew that this heat would be a fast heat collectively. They proved that to be so.
Every rep looks so clean, and they all look identical. That's what you want to see as the weight goes up.
Tasia Persovitz in the middle of the screen out of CrossFit Free, just 25 years old, has made a name for herself in some of the off-season competitions this year. She was at regionals a year ago taking 12th, but she is definitely, she's also up to 175 pounds.
We've seen Maude Charron in some other off-season competitions, and she's making herself, she has herself a name here up in the Northeast. But she really does a really fantastic job with the barbell and with the pressure, with being able to compete alongside of athletes like Catherine Davids-Daughter, like Michelle Letendre in those off-season competitions, which is huge. It just gets you up to that next level.
Charron is through at 7 minutes 16 seconds unofficially at just 23 years old. And the starter weekend, also the case for Caroline Reason-Thibault, in at 8 minutes and 30 to go forward on that. As Catherine is pretty much cooled down already at this point. She's been done for 4 minutes, only a half second off the event record as she starts her title defense. And as she watches on, Chloe Gavin-David is through, and she'll cross the line at 8 minutes and 40 seconds.
The athletes can celebrate for each other because they know how good that feels to cross that finish line and be done.
But it's all smiles for 8 athletes here in this heat. Nope.
So far it's working well for her, and we'll see if that is what she chooses to do in these later rounds.
Caroline Reason-Thibault, the entire time in event 3 and now in event 4, was trying to play that sneaky kind of role where she kind of flies under the radar. We're on to her this time here in event number 4. She's out front, first one through 1 round and into the pistols in round number 2.
And coming into this event in 5th place, she really has the pressure on her to keep that spot. You don't want to lose that. I mean, that's a great place to be top 5, but man, that's right there on the edge, and you want to make sure that you solidify that. If you can, move your way up.
Haven't seen many athletes be able to be really strong in event number 3, or is in good position to do just that. Not a bad person to pace off of. The power cleans, Letendre right behind her, but Letendre has been faster on the pistols. And we talk about the back issues for Michelle Letendre. Reason-Thibault making the games for the fit remains on that 17-minute combined time cap. Next one to come through will be Maude Charron in lane number 2. And right, white and pink, she scorpioned a bit near the end with 20 feet remaining. I think for all 10 was Marissa Hardy, who dropped on that 9th, and we check back in with Maude Charron in the pink and black on the bottom of the screen. But it's Maude Charron, first one to the bar for her final 5 overhead squats. really threatening for a top 10. She was 6th in 2014, 8th in 2015. Bit of a disappointing weekend for her based on those performances, but these overhead squats looking easy for Maude.
She's definitely known for her strength. She's known up here in the Northeast, obviously in Canada. And,
thinking she set it down before the hips were fully extended on that one.
See, a lot of the athletes make sure they do a deliberate pause at the top before they get that okay from the judge.
Nice composure there to get that rep right after the no rep, and Maude Charron.
As part of this event, she really paced out the first part appropriately through the overhead squats, through the row, but she made up all the
17 seconds. Next up, Maude Charron. That big smile as she steps onto the finish mat at 4 minutes and 22 seconds. For Caroline Prevost.
Caroline Prevost knows